happy Tuesday, my friends, and welcome to the Daily Creative Challenges in Adobe Illustrator. My name is Julia Masalska, and I'm your host for the next 2 weeks. So I'm super excited to be working with you on this project. Every single day, we're going to be learning something new in Adobe Illustrator. How's everybody doing in the chat? Let me know. We have Jack and Susan and Katarina and Wade here. Awesome to have you here. Thank you so much all for joining. Let us know if you are a newbie in Illustrator. I'd love to know that. Also, if you're joining us from YouTube, make sure to head over to be.net/live. This is where we are going to be reading the chat, where I'm going to be reading the chat. It's funny that I'm speaking myself in plural, but I'm going to be reading the chat and you can ask your questions there, or I'm going to be answering those. Awesome, Murray, looking forward to today's challenge, and me too. I am super pumped and excited. Today's challenge is going to be all about logo design. So we are going to be working on a logo for our festival. But first of all, let's do some housekeeping and let's jump into our Daily Creative Challenge page. And this one you can find if you go to be.net/live/challenge/illustrator. So here you can unlock the challenges every single day. You can rewatch this video and you can click get started to get the starter file. And the starter file today is super fun. The starter file looks like this. I have prepared a bunch of assets for you to use during your challenges. So you will find all of these inside the starter file. So make sure to get that one and secure it for yourself. All of these assets I've created myself, so you can feel free to use them. I give you the official rights to do whatever you want with them. You can use them for your personal projects, whatever you like. Cool. Stony is here also joining, saying cool. Yay. Nourish and Arturo is here. Faiza is here. Omar is here from Tulum. Oh wow. I need to go back to the ocean. I'm so jealous that you're in Tulum right now. Hi Bruno. Cool. Laura is here from Chicagoland. Awesome. I love Chicago. Cool. So we have our design assets, but first of all, I would like for you all to join our Discord community, and you can find it if you go to bit.ly/AI Discord right here. Make sure to type AI in capital. The I is not an L, it's an I. So make sure to spell that right. Otherwise, you can also access that link if you go to the be.net/challenge/illustrator page. Cool. So, and you know what? I was so excited to see all of y'all's challenge submissions from earlier. And so here is some of the stuff that people have submitted. So yesterday we've been working on designing the project for Behance. I would love for all of you to have a full portfolio piece by the end of this. So this is what we've done yesterday. Feel free to rewatch this. And you know what's so funny that I totally enjoyed is this cover page called "We All Scream for Ice Cream." This is so cool. All right, and we have some more really cool transitions here. A very nice job. This one is by Kim, and this one is by Jay Lewis. Super exciting. Daily Creative Challenge Ice Cream Festival. Very nice. I love that. This is so fun. And you know what? Ice cream and colors are so fun. So let's jump right into this and let's start designing. And for all of you who just opened the Illustrator file, you might have to update, you might have to download these fonts, you might have to activate those. So make sure to activate the fonts before you open the file. All right, so we have Termina here, we have Synthemask regular, we have Epitaph here, and then we have Termina in black and regular. And by the way, if you want to share your work online anywhere, if it's Instagram or Behance, make sure to use the hashtag AI Daily Challenge. All right. So this is where you can see everybody else's submissions, and this is where you all can connect online. Cool. Aaron is here. Good evening from Israel. Awesome. Gal is saying assets look so good. yeah, I'm glad you like it. Biola is saying, bummer, that's the same tagline I used. Biola, don't worry, you can use the same tagline. That's so fun. That's totally okay. And yeah, I have another tagline here called What a Fun Time. But really, I was just kind of trying to fill up that space here that kind of appeared by putting together the assets. But yeah, that's graphic design for you. Sometimes you just have to find new things to fill up the space and to make it more balanced. All right, so today, logo design, and we're going to be working with Type on a Path. And Type on a Path is a really, really fun tool. So let's... First of all, let's put together our color palette. And as you can see, I've kind of hidden a couple colors in here that you can use. So let's put together our color palette, and I'm using the rectangle tool, creating one rectangle, using the eye on the keyboard for the eyedropper. And now I'm going to sample some of these colors. And to go back to the selection tool, I'm clicking letter V on my keyboard. That's another shortcut. Now, click and hold Option, drag down, create a new copy of this. Again, using a shortcut I and sampling another color. And that's exactly what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the colors that I want to produce. And this is going to be my color palette. Of course, feel free to use the same color palette, or you can, of course, feel free to create your own color palette for this project. All right, again, I'm using the shortcut I on my keyboard, sampling another color, creating another copy, using shortcut I again, and so on until I have all the colors. And I'm also going to use the color black here in my project. How fun is this, right? I really love this color palette, and I'm also going to sample the green down here. And another really nice warm gray color that I found is this one that you have in the background. So if you click on the background here, you'll be able to access the color by double clicking on the fill, and it's FFF. Well, yours is probably a little different. I think I've changed it up, but use FFFDEE. Okay, so this is the color code, and I'm going to create another rectangle with that color. And as you can see, it's a very light cream color, and I think for an ice cream festival this could be perfect. And also it builds a very nice contrast to the black and makes the black look a little bit more warm, right? So this is what we want to achieve. Now, speaking of color palettes and how to put together one, so here we have our color palette, and here I have 7 colors. So a quick recommendation for you all who are trying to put together a color palette 5 to 8 colors, I think works perfectly. 2 of those should be, or can be, I highly recommend that, very contrasty colors. So as you can see, this one is like an off-white cream color, so it's very light. And here we have the perfect black, right? So the perfect black is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, what a tongue breaker. But so I have a very dark color and a very light color as a contrast. Those are my 2 kind of basis colors that I can use on top of each other, and I'm sure to create a lot of contrast. Then I have additional colors. So these are my 5 colorful colors, right? So those I use for accents or, for the background. But these black and white, or almost black and almost white, I use to put text on it, for example, or to create contrast. And the good thing is either or white or black, I can use on most of these colors, as to use for my typography, right? So this is how I put together a color palette, 5 to 8 colors usually. Of course, if you feel like it, you can only use 3. That will totally work, but I think since we have a nice summer festival, and it's a ice cream festival in addition to that, and ice cream has a lot of colors. So let's jump right into this and let's continue designing the logo. All right, so this is our color palette now, and I'm going to start with my Type on a Path tool. So I wanted to show you real quick how that works. Let's get into our artboard here. So to create a Type on a Path, what do we need? We need type and we need path. right? So first of all, let's create the path. And the path can be literally any type of vector. So it can be a rectangle, it can be an ellipse, so a circle, it can be a polygon, anything that you want. But let's start with the ellipse tool, and I'm going to hold shift while clicking and dragging when creating my circle, right? So we're going to create a type and a path around the circle to create a badge style logo, a logo that will have text all around. All right, now what we have is a circle. So Illustrator sees the circle as a rounded path, so a round path. Hi Mayur, thanks for joining us. All right, so a round path, so we have a path, right? Now we need type, we need to have our text. So I'm going into the type tool, and I'm going to click on it and hold and go and select type on the path tool. All right, so let me go in here and zoom in for you all so you can see what I'm doing. Type on a path. This is what we're going to select, type on a path. Okay, so now I'm going to, while I have the type on a path selected, I'm going to click on that circle. And as I click on the circle, Illustrator knows that I'm selecting this circle as my path and puts type on it. That makes sense, right? So now I have my sample type. Of course, you can select the font of this by going into the character styles. You have to have the font selected by double clicking it. And here you can go into the properties panel. You can activate it by going to window and activate properties. Okay, and here you can go into your character style. So you can select any font that you want for your festival logo. But I highly suggest Synthemask or Epitaph. I thought those were such amazing fonts that are very unique and different. So let's try this font first, and then we can try the other one. Okay, so ice cream festival. I had lots of coffee today, so typing feels really easy. Now, type on a path tool. What do we have here? We have this middle line, right? Can you see that? This middle line that defines the center of my type. And also, it helps me arrange the type either on the inside or on the outside of the circle. So feel free to play around with that. And oh, okay. All right, so this looks good. Now, if you have something like this happen where, okay, not sure what's wrong with my mouse. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. All right, Illustrator. I guess I played around too much. Let me close this. Illustrator is like, what the hell do you want from me? Let me close that. I don't think it should be XD, but let's see. Illustrator, are you here? Are you listening to me? It's weird. Okay. All right. Let's go here step by step. Oh, okay. All right, we're back. Thank God. All right, so we have our type on the path, and now what happened is some of the text disappeared, and we have this little plus element right here that you can see. So we can go in and adjust the end and the beginning of our type. And those are basically the little lines that you can see at the beginning and at the end of the text. All right, so this works well for us. Let's see. All right. Illustrator seems to be a little conflicted about my designs today. Let's see. All right, so we have that. Now we have something really fun here in my assets that I've created for you, and it's the smiley from yesterday. So if you were if you joined us for the stream yesterday, check out the assets and check out the smiley that we've created yesterday. It's really easy to make. We literally created this with 2 ellipses and a in the pencil tool. I just drew this. Okay, so we're going to take our smiley face and we're going to hold Option and drag it to our logo. I don't know why, but Illustrator doesn't like this logo of mine. So I'm just going to delete this. I'm not sure what's wrong with it. I'm just going to delete it, and then I'm going to try new. Okay, so we have our smiley. Now, when we scale it, make sure that you have scaling of the outline on, and that you can change, and I'm going to show you an example. So let's say we have a smiley face like this, and I'm going to make a copy. So when I'm going to scale it like this, proportionally my outline is going to scale as well. While here, if I go into Object, Transform, Scale, and then turn off Scale, Strokes, and Effects, when I'm going to make it bigger, my stroke will stay in the same boldness. It will be the same width, right? So what does it do? It doesn't change proportionally when I scale. It means that the stroke, which was at 8 points, is still staying the same, all right? But I don't want that. I want to make sure that so you have to click on any object, Transform, Scale, and then make sure to click onto Scale, Strokes, and Effects so that your outlines are scaled proportionally, okay? All right, so let's try this again. I'm excited. All right, so we're creating this circle for Type on the Path, right? And then I'm going to go on the Type on the Path tool, and I'm going to click and type Ice Cream Festival. Okay, so now you can see I have this middle line that will help me determine where I position the type, right? Do I want it to be on the inside of the circle, or do I want it to be on the outside of the circle? Now, of course, we can also just turn the circle itself. Hey, this looks like a smiley already. But what we want to do is, let me scale this down a little bit, and I'm going to increase the font size. So I'm going to increase it maybe to 100. Cool. Now we can also, of course, work here and add some more spacing. That works pretty well. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to place that little smiley in the center of it. So I'm going to click Option and Shift, and I'm going to move it into this little logo. Now we already have a really cool festival logo. I can also, of course, go in and adjust it a little bit. Let's say I wanted it to be something like this. I'm going to make a copy, and I'm going to remove the festival, and I'm going to type ice cream at the top. So I'm going to make it like this, all right? Like that. And here I'm going to remove ice cream. Ice cream. Cool. All right, like that. And now what happens is it's way easier to read, right? So we have festival, and it's not upside down, and we have ice cream. Now the only difference is that here the bottom line is at the bottom, and here the outline is basically the circles are different size. So what I want to do is I want to decrease the size of the circle so it fits the top of my other words. Now, what I need to do is I need to adjust. As you can see, my font has scaled as well. So what I have to do is I'm going to click the eyedropper tool, and I'm going to sample the same character style as we have at the bottom. All right. Now everything works just fine, just perfect. Okay, and I'm going to remove a little bit of the space here. Now let's get to the fun part. Let's get to the little design elements that I've designed for you, and how can we use them inside our logo. All right, so I have little stars here, little explosions, whatever you want, a little abstract ice cream, which I thought was also really fun to play with. But I'm going to grab one of these stars for now, and I'm going to scale it a little bit. I'm going to make it bigger. And by the way, when I scale proportionally, I hold Shift and Option to scale it in the center. And then what I can also do is, right now you can see the little star is outlined, right? So if I want to change the color of it, I will have to change the outline color and also the fill. But what I want to do is I want to change the whole star. So what I want to do is I'm going to go to Object, Path, and Outline Stroke. And now you can see that my stroke is outlined, and whenever I change the fill, I'm going to change the color of the whole star, okay? And I'm also going to go into Pathfinder. As you can see, there are some multiple paths in here because I had an outline and so on. So I'm going to click in the Pathfinder, I'm going to click on Unite. And now we have a very simple object without too many outlines and so on. Now I can just simply click on the eyedropper tool, so letter I on your keyboard, and I can transform it to any color I want. Okay, so I'm going to add these little star elements into my logo, just like that. Of course, feel free to, design your own, and also feel free, of course, to change the color of the ice cream and festival font. And I'm again going into the eyedropper tool, and I'm going to sample different colors and see what works best. Maybe a blue. Yeah, the blue looks really great. And another thing that I wanted to do is I wanted to add some background to this logo. This is so fun, right? I love this. Okay, cool. Let's see if I can increase the size of the smiley face just a little bit. Okay, so what do y'all think? Is it working? And let me know if you have any questions. Put more kerning, that's a good point. So we look here, the E and the A are very close together, so I can go in between here, and I can hey, what was the shortcut for that again? Okay, I can just simply go select the E and the A, or we can just select the whole ice cream text, and I can go into the kerning here, and I can adjust the kerning. It's located in the character styles, where I can do that. And yeah, so this is where you can kind of adjust the kerning. And now I also want to decrease the font size just a little bit to 90 point, maybe like that. And here I will have to do the same. So let's take a look, and we can again eyedrop. I love the eyedropper tool because you can just sample any character style. Again, I'm using the eyedropper tool, and there we go. Cool. Now this looks fun, right? Okay, now let's create another variation of our logo. I have made as an experience as a branding designer that you always have to have different variations of the logo. One variation that goes, let's say, on more square or round format designs, and one that goes more on lengthy format. So what we're going to do is we're going to create another path, and that path we are going to create with the pencil tool. Now, if we double click into the pencil tool, we want to make sure that the fidelity is set to smooth, where Illustrator is going to help you create the perfect curves, okay? So I'm going to create a wavy curve like that. And now what I'm going to do is, let me actually keep this selected, and I'm going to type on a path tool, and I'm going to click onto that wave, okay? And I'm going to again type ice cream festival. All right, cool. And I'm going to sample that same color with a shortcut I on the keyboard. There we go. And again, we can add some cool things to it. So maybe we can add, let's see what we've got. We have too many things going on here. Too many different cool shapes and assets. Now we can play with this ice cream, maybe something like that. And we can also give it a color, or maybe we can even just color one of the circles, again using the eyedropper. Now this is fun, right? Let me make this one, let me bring this one to the front, so it's basically covering both the other circles, and I can do that by right clicking, arrange, bring to front, or I can also click Command Shift and square bracket closed. Okay, yay, this is so fun. And I can also create another variation by, again, I'm holding Option, clicking and dragging it to the side. And now let's try the epitaph font. So I'm going to again sample, and I'm going to sample that font, which I think is also super cool. I'm going to make it a little bit larger. And the cool thing in the type on a path is that you can also go in and change the path after you've created it. So you can go into the direct selection tool right here. It's underneath the regular selection tool, and you can go into these handles and you can adjust them. You can move the points around and you can move that text to whatever shape you want. Okay, and now we can go back into selection, into the type on a path tool, and here, let's go back. Here we can also arrange the type the way we want it on a path. So we have the beginning of the text, which right now, if you look in the paragraph styles, it's set to align right. But if we align it to the left, it will be aligned along the most left point. Okay. Now what we can also do is we can arrange it in the center, which is also cool. And we can also play around with the positioning, just twist it and turn it the way we want it. So this is also great, right? Super fun. All right, now what I would like for you to do is I would like for you to export this artboard and to post it into our Discord. And how you do that is you go into File up here, File, Export, Export for Screens, and here you'll be able to select the artboards that you want to export, which we only have one. So we want to make sure that our resolution is set to 150 points per inch, which should be by default because I set up this file that way. And now we can select where we want to save it. I want to save it on a desktop, and then we can export artboard. And I already had artboard number 1 from before. So yeah, this is how you export it, and then you want to post it into our Discord. Yay! I already see some really cool submissions. This is awesome. Cool. So again, our Discord right here, bit.ly/AI Discord. So make sure to submit. I'm super excited. Which typefaces? The typefaces are saved in the starter file, and they are called Synthemesque and Epitaph. But make sure to see the starter file for that. So excited. Thank you all so much for joining, and stay tuned for the next show. It was so much fun. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Bye bye.